and welcome back to another episode of One More for Safety, where we filmmakers believe every film deserves a second take. I'm Imran.
I'm Tyler.
And today we're joined by a guest for the first time on the couch.
You can say your name now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey guys, I'm Elijah. Yeah, I did do a double take there. I was about to say my name with you guys and I was like, no, okay, not at this time, all
You're
right.
the guest, You're only here on loan, man. You're only here on loan, but you get your special title.
Okay, fantastic. Well, it's nice
Hello.
to be here.
How are you today?
I'm fantastic. How are you guys?
Pretty good, man. Pretty
We
good.
say this like, again, we weren't just on call like the night before saying we were gonna do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder how
There-
people who actually do podcasts with like, you know, people they know just have
Yeah.
to be like, okay, now you have to act like you don't know
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Shake my hand.
Shake my hand.
Must be a script in there somewhere, but look at us. We're just scuffed.
Which is
But this is a bit more of a free form
yeah.
podcast anyway, you know?
It's like
You're our
jazz.
friend. It's
Thank you,
fine.
thank you. Oh my gosh, guys, I've
know?
I've elevated to the friend
Yeah,
stage.
you have, man.
This is the
You have.
official. This is the last hurdle.
Yeah.
And you are our first guest of this podcast.
Indeed.
You can't ever have that taken away from you.
That is
Put it on
true.
your CV. You
Oh,
know,
hell
like
yeah.
Yeah, put that on your
Yeah.
CV from now on.
My
First
LinkedIn,
guest.
yeah.
Everything like that. Just
Exactly.
put it on there, man.
Before we started the episode, Tyler was about to tell me a story that he had actually told me and Elijah, but there's been an update, a continuation that Elijah hasn't heard yet, and I
Oh.
want Tyler to tell this story on
I
the
have to-
podcast.
Damn it. I feel like this is gonna be. It's not related to film.
No,
but
it's
it
not
was
related
But
to
it was an
film.
interaction that I had when I was at the pub with so all right. I'll say it from the beginning, okay? So I work at a pub, and so naturally after a hard day's work at a pub, I decided to reward myself by going to a different pub.
as one does.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and drink there, you know, and like they have an open mic there.
Okay.
And what I do, sit at the bar, just listen to the music, have a drink or whatever, and then, you know, enjoy myself. And I talk to people because I interact with people socially sometimes. It's a hobby of mine. You know?
Talking
time to
is a
time,
hobby,
like
yeah.
speaking to people, you know?
Yeah. Conversing. And this woman wants to get on the bar and like clearly get a drink, and she's had a few. And I'm like a gentleman, so I allow her onto the bar and we get talking. And like she's had a few drinks and I've only had the one or whatever. So like we're on different wavelengths. And she claims that she's from the music business and she's like, "You're exactly what I'm looking for." You right there, this right here, you've got it. You're exactly what I'm looking for.
Honey,
right
I'm
now.
gonna make you a star.
Yeah, I know she was saying stuff like that. She was saying stuff like, "Oh, you know, like we'll get you in a studio, we'll get you like training." Like, and I was like, "Really?" Because like I have no musical talent whatsoever. Like I didn't even mince my words. All right, I was like, I have played the guitar. I'm not good at it, but I have played it. I told this woman I've never picked up a guitar in my life. Because, like, to her,
You
I
downplayed
haven't.
yourself
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah,
like-
exactly. And what's even worse was that there was this woman that was singing at the open mic, and like she was trying to sing, and like, you know, she's singing like Beatles songs or whatever. And like she went to the bar, like get herself a drink, and this lady was like going to him being like, "Yeah, you see, he's got it, hasn't he?
Oh
Like
my
what he's got it."
Oh.
And she was like, "Oh, I don't know, like I've never met him before." And she was like, "Oh, you don't need to know that, like you just have to know, you know?" Like, and I was like,
Just
"Yeah,
look at him.
sure." Like,
Oh,
and so
no.
I see this as an opportunity though. You know, I am not musically talented, but I wouldn't mind having a bit about me, okay? You know, I
Yeah.
wouldn't
You wouldn't mind learning a bit.
learning
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
But like I don't have the discipline all the time at the moment with work and stuff like that.
Ah,
So I'm seeing this as like an excuse of like, well, if this woman sees something in me and has faith, okay, like I'm, you know, fuck it, I'll take the singing lessons and like you know,
Yes,
I'll go.
yes.
All right.
All
So she
right.
asked me to send over some songs that I like.
yeah, did you actually?
Yeah, and I sent over like some songs, and she was like, "I want you to learn this, and this
What songs
song."
did you send?
Oh man, the songs that I have to learn are "Stand By Me" by Oasis.
Nice.
Okay.
Which-
Oasis
yeah,
specifically.
yeah.
Yeah.
The what else was it?
You sent.
Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now
Yes,
by the
from the
Smiths.
Smiths,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one I feel a little bit more within my range. Okay, like, and
Because
then
Morrissey doesn't sing.
Yeah.
He
And then,
shouts.
And then the last one is fucking Shine by Take That, which is my karaoke go-to. All right.
Okay,
So
all
I
right.
feel, but like I can't hit those notes.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Can you?
No, I can't hit those notes.
You purposely hit. You picked a stretch goal. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and then we'll go down. We'll go down from there. But like, so now I'm going to you. I need you to print off some lyrics
Yeah,
for me
so
after the.
You
the
need some
podcast.
lyric sheets now.
I was
Like,
wondering why you
3
needed some print
damn
offs. Okay.
songs.
Okay.
Oh my God. This is like the equivalent
makes
of
sense.
like, imagine you went up to a person who didn't even know how to ride a bicycle and said, "We'd love for you to be a Formula One driver.
Yeah, you wanna fucking,
We think you have the
Right.
chops."
But no, like I even was like, I'm more of a filmmaker kind of guy. Like I don't really like.
You were trying to pivot off.
Yeah. She was like, no, it's like it's different industry, but like we'll make you make it and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know about this. Like, this doesn't seem like the most conventional method into the film industry, but I'm gonna take it.
Yeah,
There
of
you
course,
go.
of
Of
course,
course.
you have
Yeah.
to. You have
And
to.
also, fuck it, it'll be fun.
It's all right, Elijah. We'll be his backing. We'll be his backing band.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We gotta go in. You know, I'll bring my guitar. You bring
Piano.
Piano. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
bro.
bring a keyboard.
Well, we've already started a podcast. We might as well start a band at this point.
Yeah. Why
of
not?
course.
Why not?
We might as well
I'd be
fucking-
happy to.
Yeah, we gotta hit all of
Speaking
them.
of said podcast,
Let's get that.
Elijah, what
Yes.
film are we watching today?
Okay. So, hold on just 1 second.
He's got his necklace caught around the microphone.
It's all right.
You got it.
And
got it, he's got it.
I'll fit it into
For listeners at home, Elijah is choking himself
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little kink of mine. So today we are watching Project X.
Whoa!
Yes.
I haven't seen this film.
Neither have I.
And I
Good.
was not expecting to watch this film.
I am
Surprise.
glad. I'm glad. Yes, originally we were going to watch Spy Kids. And
Another
Spy
time.
Kids 3 specifically.
It's a great film.
So this was the reason and as to why I picked Project X.
Explain yourself.
Okay, so it started off with Spy Kids 3. I was like, okay, I remember loving this film when I was a kid, you know, 7 to 8 years old and, you know, bright-eyed, watching this and thinking, this is the best CGI I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my entire
Yeah.
life.
This isn't nightmarish.
Yeah,
No,
it's not
at all.
nightmarish whatsoever.
Beautiful.
This is better than Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
That's the bar.
Yeah,
That is the bar indeed. And then I watched it. And I realized, wait, this is worse than Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
How dare you?
But I researched it to try and see, like, you know, did it become a cult classic? You know, did people end up liking it in the end and stuff? And the verdict was no. Critics despised it, and
Yeah.
audience also equally hated it.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I thought, okay, maybe we're not gonna go for Spy Kids 3. Let's try and go for like Spy Kids 2 or 1.
Let's do another spike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was dead set on it, and then looking through them, they were just like, no, they just all love them. They critics and audience alike, they like Spy Kids 1 and Spy Kids 2.
Me personally, I also love the Spy Kids movies.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
I have never seen a Spy Kids movie.
None
We're
of
putting
them.
it on the
None of
list.
them.
What?
We're
It
putting
is on the list,
We're
so
putting it on the list, baby.
yeah, we will definitely get round to at least one, if not a few of
All
the Spy
three.
Kids
There we
movies.
go.
Every
At some point,
single
maybe
one.
it's going to be on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Elijah might come back and do all of the Spy
Yeah.
Kids.
Oh,
you
hell
know?
yeah.
That would
Have I
actually
got
be
a few
fucking
tidbits to
jokes.
tell you guys about the
That
Spy
would
Kids
be
movies?
fucking jokes.
Yeah.
I remember
Instead,
watching those movies.
Today, we're going to look at Project X,
Project X.
which came out in 2012.
Yes.
I don't know anything about it other than what I can see on the Google bio.
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell us a little bit about the movie then? Elijah?
Sure.
And about you.
Oh, mate. We're not going to be going into that. I've got a bunch of notes, actually, in terms of...
We'll get into like the
Project
discussion
X.
after we watch the movie, but just
just
a
tell
little bit
us-
of context for what we're about to see.
little bit
Of
of a
course.
background.
Project X is basically like a found footage style film. And
shit.
yeah, it kind of follows this friend group. You know that friend group that's chronically online, you know, and plays COD all the time, so they say a few slurs and stuff.
Us. Yeah.
Wait,
Whoa.
no,
Whoa.
no.
Hold on a second. I'm
Why
not
not?
saying no. I'm just saying, why'd you have to say it out loud?
But yeah, those kind of people. It follows them, and they're a trio. And they basically, for Thomas, the main character's birthday, they wanted to have a gigantic party that would help them rise through the high school ranks, I guess.
I did this at uni.
Wait,
exactly-
this kind of sounds like me, for real.
Is this story about us?
Yeah, but I think that's probably why it kind of hit certain people, certain audiences in the heart, because I feel like some of them did feel like this.
Why did you pick it though?
Why did I pick
Why
it?
did you pick it?
Because genuinely, I did feel, I know we joked about it earlier, but I did feel like, oh man, this kind of feels like my friend group.
Yeah, I told you.
Like back when you know, we were in secondary school, and
Yeah.
you know, some of the stupid shit that they would say or they would pull. You know, sorry, can I curse here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, some of the stupid shit that they that they would pull and everything. It felt quite authentic. I don't know.
No, I feel the same way about like Superbad and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's the
exactly.
Same kind of vibe.
I mean, 2012,
Exactly.
this would be height of like the teen raunchy
Oh,
kind
yes.
of comedies, you know?
Oh, yes.
And obviously, found footage for whoever is
Also-
listening who doesn't know,
Yeah.
it's like, it's told from like a camera, like a real camera within the story. So
Blair
like a Blair
Witch
Witch,
style.
Yeah.
Cloverfield, you know,
Cloverfield.
someone's recording it in the world
Chronicle.
of the movie. That's what we're seeing.
Chronicle also.
Yeah, found
Chronicle
footage
is
style
found
as well.
footage
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah, yeah.
One that I also saw, which was really good, is As Above, So Below.
Oh yes.
So-
I haven't seen that.
Yes.
Have you not seen
you
that?
need to
That's
watch
the
that.
that's the catacomb one.
Yeah,
It is,
Paris
that's,
Catacombs.
that's a
Catacombs,
great
yeah.
one. That's a
I
great
do
one,
have to
man.
get around to that.
Yeah.
We'll watch it. We'll watch it, man.
But
Well-
today we're watching Project
Yeah,
X.
today we're talking about a different film.
Yes.
What we've established is we want to watch a bunch of movies,
Yes.
and this podcast could run till the end
Yeah,
of time.
yeah,
Oh, 100%.
We're not stopping.
All right, so we're gonna go watch Project X. But if you want to watch us or listen to us, I should say, watch Project X,
Mhm.
you want to hear our live reaction, our live commentary to the movie, make sure you tune in next week for the live commentary episode.
You can watch us watch something.
Exactly. Because that's what everyone
I'm
wants.
really selling it.
Because we just put out, I don't know when this is going to come out, but we did just put out the D&D live commentary. And I'll tell you what, the analytics, yeah, definitely, it matches. People definitely want to watch 2 hours of us talking
other
with the
people
movie.
watching something else.
But if that's your thing, you can.
Yeah.
But if it's not, listen to the rest of this episode and make sure you follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. Apparently, we're on Audible. I
Hell
managed to get us
yes.
there. So if
Hell
you,
yeah.
way.
You
Yep,
finally made
it's
it,
there
baby.
now as well.
You finally
Let's
made
go.
it.
Wherever you listen to podcasts, make sure you follow us and rate the podcast.
Hell yeah.
because that helps a lot.
Please do, guys. Please.
Please keep watching us.
Please keep watching us.
Thank you.
But till then, we desperately need the approval. Until then, here's our thoughts on Project X.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your book. What are you listening to?
Oh, it's One More for Safety. No one's ever thought of this before. It's a film podcast where sometimes they make jokes.
Ah! This is Ani. You are listening to One More for Safety. Keep listening.
Hey, Imran here. If you're enjoying us ramble on about movies, make sure you follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or that suspicious CD vendor on the street. Don't worry, he's cool. It's just Tyler.
Hi.
Hello and welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
We are.
guys.
We have just I'm gonna take that again. I'm actually gonna take that again.
No, it's perfect.
Keep it
It's
in,
perfect.
keep
It's
it
perfect. We're back now, guys. We just finished watching Project X.
Yeah.
Kind of. We had a little break, but now we're back and we're here to talk about how we felt about it.
Indeed.
We all have thoughts and feelings. I have questions for Elijah.
Yeah.
But Imran has some thoughts on the film. But before we get into it, like, what do we all think of it? Did we enjoy it? Like,
Let's start with you two first, because I think you have a consensus.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I've watched it already. That's why I want to know what you guys think of it.
When was the last time you watched it?
I don't remember.
So it's
But I
a long
remember,
time.
Yeah, I remember a bit of it enough to be like, this was a really funny film.
Yeah, I thought this was funny. No, I look, it is like, it's very dated.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
firmly placed within the 2012
Yeah.
consciousness.
I mean,
okay?
we were saying it in the commentary track. We could have had a running bingo tally of like
Yeah.
what slurs of
Words
the time.
you can't say now.
Words you can't say now.
People that we shouldn't talk about anymore. Like,
Yeah, oh yeah, multiple by the way,
Yeah.
multiple.
you
people.
thought we had that in the Lone Ranger, but no, this one,
Beaten
this
by
one,
Project
this one,
X.
yeah,
100%.
this one had a lot of. But I enjoyed it, dude. It was
yeah.
it was a blast to the past, a
Oh,
past that I wasn't. I never went to a party like that, but it was like, again, it was firmly within like that 2012
Yeah,
consciousness,
definitely.
and it was quite a throwback for me.
Yeah.
What did you think? Other
Now here's the thing.
other people's.
Okay, I'm not saying there weren't funny moments, nor am I saying there weren't entertaining moments. I think right off the bat, let's start with some breakout moments. When the three of them go to get the chronic, as they again
Yeah.
of the time, the
drugs.
chronic,
The
the drugs.
The droogs.
They go to the guy. I can't remember what his name was, but the
T. Rick.
T. Rick was it? They
Ricky
go to
T
the
or
drug
something.
dealer's
Something like
house.
that. I don't remember what his name
Yeah.
was.
They go to the drug dealer's house and he's got his fucking maroon
Yeah,
robe and
he's
it's
got
like
his-
run
got his
down and
dressing
stuff.
gown on.
And I'm just thinking like, feels like, I don't know if you guys have seen Boogie Nights, the Paul Thomas Anderson
Yeah,
film.
I
haven't
have.
watched
There's
I
a
have-
scene
I've
in
seen
Boogie
Boogie
Nights
Nights.
where Alfred Molina is in Boogie Nights and he
Mhm.
plays this like insane drug dealer. And three guys go and buy drugs from him. And he's blasting music at the top of like the speakers. It's at like max volume. It's
Yeah.
like Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield or something.
Oh,
And so the three guys are like
Oh, I think I
awkwardly
remember this.
waiting to rob him technically.
Oh, shit.
Waiting to rob him, but they can't get a word in because he's like singing.
Yeah.
oh.
This scene is like the opposite of that.
Yeah.
They're like quietly listening to fucking what the hell did I write down here? They're quietly listening to James Blunt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you wrote it down.
I was thinking who it was.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
What a perfect. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like that was just perfect. The fact
That was a
they-
very funny scene.
Yeah.
And obviously the scene ends with them stealing that gnome that
Yeah.
we later will find out is filled with ecstasy pills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
It's a
guy
cool gnome.
becomes the T-1000. He
Yeah.
like bolts after them in the fucking minivan like the fucking Terminator. Like smacks into the side of the
Oh
van,
my
jumps
God.
onto the hood of the car.
I'd
It's
shit
like
myself.
that was insane.
It's like-
Honestly.
So that and that whole side arc that character does when he comes back later with the fucking flamethrower
Yeah.
and he's like burning down the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he looks like one of the guys he's dressed like one of the guys in Chernobyl. Like he's
Oh
supposed
my
to like
God.
clean up the radiation. He's in like
Yeah.
the full like
That was the
reflective
wildest bit.
material.
Yeah.
I knew about the car going into the swimming pool from like trailers and stuff like that,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know about the flamethrower.
You know-
guy.
Yeah, I'm
that was
so
that
glad.
was wild.
You know
I'm
what's
so
funny?
glad you
I
didn't
think
see that coming.
when the parents leave,
Yeah.
they say like, "Don't touch the car," and I joked in the commentary track and said, "Well, that's coming back later."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely forgetting about it until
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking midget drives
Yeah,
the car
yeah,
into the pool.
yeah.
You see, look, now I think that was a pretty successful Chekhov's gun.
That's a.
Chekhov's car.
It made me forget,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then it was like, oh shit, it's yeah.
When
So
they-
there are some very funny moments.
Yeah.
Mhm.
However,
Yeah, I was
Uh-oh.
waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
however, okay, this is obviously a raunchy teen comedy,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
and that's fine. There's
Uh-huh.
nothing wrong with those. I have a problem with the fact that they did all of this insanity. Let's just run through the names again. So there's Thomas,
He's
Costa,
yeah.
and
JB.
JB.
Yeah.
Okay, these three
And Dax.
knuckleheads.
And Dax.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget Dax.
And Dax, who's behind the camera.
Yeah.
They do some of the worst, heinous shit throughout this movie. Okay?
Yeah.
And the movie wraps up like they just became the coolest cats in town.
Yeah.
You
They
know?
do though.
Well, they do,
Yeah.
but they frame that as a positive.
Yeah.
And there was a point in the commentary where I also said, because there's a few moments where there's the girl, Kirby, the blonde girl,
Blonde
Yeah.
girl.
who it seems like Thomas has some vibes with.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the Instagram model or
Yeah,
whatever.
she looks like an Instagram model,
Yeah,
but I
well, that's what
swear
you were
she's in
referring to
Pitch
it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I swear she's in Pitch
But
Perfect.
there's
So
like
you seem to recognize her,
Mhm.
but she's
yeah, she's like a
Maybe I've seen it.
the popular girl.
Yeah.
the popular girl,
Yeah.
the popular the brunette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said early on when I saw both of them, I was like, I'm gonna make a prediction that he's gonna go for the brunette, and then the end he's gonna get with the blonde girl instead, because that seems like the arc.
Yeah.
Flipped it.
Flipped it. It's
Yeah.
inverted in the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He goes for Kirby first. It's nice, and then he takes an ecstasy pill, is driven to the dark side by Costa, and says,
Mm-hmm.
"Don't get with Kirby.
She's easy.
Go find people who are
Yeah.
she's easy, quote unquote. Go find other girls out of your league, quote unquote." And he goes and fucks the brunette, and
Yeah.
obviously Kirby finds out and is pissed. The movie ends with Kirby forgiving him.
Yeah.
They don't.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
They don't fuck. They don't fuck. They get interrupted by the dude peeping with the camera.
Sorry, yeah.
Not
Thomas doesn't even fuck
that.
the brunette.
They get interrupted by Kirby.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they get
she
interrupted
walks in.
by Kirby.
She walks in. You're right. You're right.
He was just holding boob, man.
Man.
I would.
Costa was a good friend, if you ask me. Like,
Costa was a good.
No.
he
What
saw.
an actual arsehole.
Yeah.
The entire movie, I was thinking, yeah, I hate him, man.
Yeah.
But it's so funny.
It is
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would have been all right if the movie had ended with him not getting Kirby.
Yeah.
You know, because if Kirby had denied him at the end, it would have had he's cool now. But no,
It
it's
came
not
at
a
a
good thing.
price.
It pays a price. No, he is cool now,
And he gets the
and
girl.
he gets the girl.
Yeah.
And they do in text and say like, "Oh, he has been charged with blah 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 blah," but we don't see any of that.
That's what I was literally about to
It's
say.
basically like skimming over that. Like we
Yeah.
have. It doesn't feel like any of that actually happens.
Yeah.
That feels like non-canon.
But it feels like I suppose like the consequences of it
Yeah.
don't really matter by that point because
Exactly.
like they got everything they wanted.
Yeah.
You know,
There's
they
even
got to
a
be
s-
cool at school and they got to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's just the thing of if we did see their consequences, and if the consequences were harsher, in my opinion anyways, it would have been a little bit better because they did deserve
Exactly.
to get harsher consequences than what they did. Because
Exactly.
Thomas literally is standing by the poolside with his dad,
There's
and
a
all he
winch
gets
in a
from his
car.
dad is, "Yeah, I didn't think you had it in you."
Yeah.
And he's basically
If I was a
proud because
dad-
he's like, "Oh, I thought my son was a loser and now he's not."
Yeah.
And that's the arc.
Yeah.
That is insane. They're saying this whilst
Winching the
his,
car out.
his
Yeah.
Mercedes was in the pool
Yeah.
and it's getting taken out.
dripping with pool water.
Exactly. With a flipping, what
Exactly.
was it, a sex doll that was
Yeah.
attached to the car as well.
And he's like, my
He's like-
son's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't realize he was like that. You
And,
know?
Yeah.
and what was the question he asked him? How many people were there?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, like 15,000, something like that.
And
And
it-
they're like, what?
And again, the scene does end with like, "You're still in so much trouble. You're still fucked."
Oh,
But
come on.
it doesn't feel like he's fucked at all.
Because his dad praises
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
No, but that's the truth. And I do agree with Imran there. I do feel like we
There's
should have
no
seen
consequences.
exactly.
Yeah.
We should have seen the consequences, and they should have been harsher for all three of them. Maybe not JB, because I feel like it's
Bro
pretty
was
funny
just
to
happy
have
to
it.
be there.
Yeah.
Like,
And also, it's just funny. Just I love the description. Like they plead.
Yeah,
they
special
plead
needs.
insanity. Yeah, that's so
the
funny
fact
to me.
the fact that one of the end cards says Costa got away scot-free from his very expensive lawyer infuriates me.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
so
Infuriates.
good.
No, for
So
real.
funny.
Because if
No, for
anything,
real.
that motherfucker should be the
Yeah.
one
Oh,
that gets charged with
definitely.
everything.
But that's what
And
always
he's the
happens.
one who gets the interview, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
That's crazy to
You
me.
know that interview at the end? That
Yeah.
literally reminds me of this interview that I saw of the Australian guy. Is that what it's... Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So this is where you're going to
Okay.
talk to me about this.
Okay, so I've done some research on this film.
Okay.
Elijah came
basically-
prepared.
Yes, I did come prepared.
He's a good guest.
you
He's
know.
a good guest.
He's a good guest.
Thank you very much.
Better than us. We didn't even come prepared for the
No,
other movies
I
we
haven't
did.
written a single note.
But yeah, so this film, it hasn't been confirmed by any of the creators, because they didn't want to either like confirm or deny it. But it is loosely based on that. That's what the speculation is, that it's loosely based on the Corey Worthington story. If you guys don't know, the Corey Worthington story is this guy called Corey Worthington from Australia. He basically had a massive house party with over 500 people there because he posted his address on MySpace. And so every single person, essentially he doxed himself and got like almost everyone from his town to attend and stuff like that. And it was so terrible that there was like over 20,000 Australian dollars worth of damages. Yeah.
Wait. What year was this?
This was in 2008.
2008.
Yeah. So this happened before this movie came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this happened in 2008, and with all of that having happened, the guy, what he took from it was not, oh man, I'm in trouble, or oh man, this is gonna be so bad for me in the long run. No, he was proud of it because the interview that Tyler's talking about is
that
his
guy.
local news gets him on, and he's got sunglasses on,
Oh my
exactly
God.
like Costa at the
he's
end.
fucking topless, bro.
Yeah,
like,
and he's topless with
He's
a,
got
with
like a little nipple piercing thing.
yeah,
or whatever,
okay.
and I
like,
think he also had a drink in hand,
Yeah,
probably not
yeah.
a chalice like Costa,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I think he also had a drink in hand, and he was just being the biggest douchebag ever in that interview.
He is. We'll show the interview afterwards.
Yeah,
so we'll
you're
find a
gonna
clip
be
for
like,
it.
I don't know this man, so I can't hate his guts, but man, I think he's probably an idiot.
If Max is listening to this, Max, see if you can find a clip, just like a short, like 10-15 seconds, and
You'll
put that
definitely find
interview,
it.
just the audio right here where we're talking
You'll
about.
definitely find it. You'll definitely find it.
Yeah.
I know it's on YouTube
No,
or
it
something
must
like
be,
that.
it
But
must
I
be.
don't remember when I saw that interview thing. I was like, oh man, I know I know what they're going for here.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so it's based off of that in Australia.
Yeah, yeah,
What other
it's,
fun anecdotes do you have?
So it's supposedly based off of that, and because of that, they kind of it was, how to explain? Because of that, there was kind of an uproar, let's say. I don't know whether it was amongst audiences, but I think it was.
Right.
It kind of made sense. But a lot of people saw this film and ended up trying to recreate this. So this happened, a major thing
I'm not
happened in-
surprised
Yeah.
because of how the movie ends.
Exactly.
How
That's
it
why-
presents
That's
the...
why they have to have the thing at the front, I imagine.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's also why I agree with what Imran's saying, that we kind of needed to see some consequences, because maybe these people wouldn't have, they wouldn't have tried
Copycat,
to,
yeah.
they wouldn't have tried to recreate
if
this
the
kind of stuff.
if this movie had ended like how Seinfeld ended, with the three of them, or sorry, the four of them plus Dax,
yeah,
you know,
plus Dax, yeah.
very happy with what they've done, thinking we fucking are apex king of the castle,
Yeah.
top of the
Castle.
mountain,
Yeah.
but they are smiling behind bars as the
Yeah,
camera is
yeah.
like. Then I would be like, okay,
See?
Crime does
That would
pay.
be
crime, yeah, that makes sense. No, this
They-
guy
crime
gets
paid.
crime
man.
paid. They got all the social credit.
Yeah.
And so did Costa's parents for the lawyers.
Yeah.
That's insane. As long as you've got really good lawyers, you're gonna be alright.
You'll be fine.
That's
You'll be
literally
fine.
what
This
was
is what they've been
yeah.
saying. It's what
That
they've
was
been
the
saying the whole
message that
time.
kind of got taken away from that whole thing.
So how many copycats were there? Then?
There were quite a few. I'm not entirely sure of the number because I think they're quite unofficial. And
Right.
you won't be
Yeah.
able to know.
Yeah,
like,
because everyone's just trying to get
Yeah,
in.
everyone's
on
just
it.
like, we'll have a
Everyone's
massive
trying-
house party and
exactly.
yeah, and just like strap a dog to some balloons. And, like, let it
Oh my
fly.
god, that scene. That
I
was
really hope that they haven't like tried to copy
Yeah,
that
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Oh,
that scene
man.
caught me so off guard because I genuinely thought like they had just done that. Like there was no like, because obviously, okay, so the family has a dog.
Yeah.
Tiny little, I don't know what they're
Milo,
called.
yeah.
So he's tied to the bottom of a bunch of balloons, a la Up.
Up style,
Up style, you know. And there's a moment where the camera pans over and it genuinely looks like the dog's about to fly away.
Yeah.
And I was thinking,
It was
oh my
so high
god,
up.
they just let that dog go. And then it cuts to the next shot and there is like a guide wire down to the ground.
Thank
But
God,
I
like
was so fucking
Yeah.
furious
No,
for a
honestly.
second.
I genuinely was so stressed out because I completely forgot about the fact that there was a guide wire there. I thought, oh my, how the hell did they do this?
Yeah,
How did they
yeah,
shoot this, man?
fucking
This
dog.
is yeah, for real.
all right, this is actually a good segue because I want to know how they shot this.
How did they
Yeah.
shoot this?
Yeah,
Because there are so many. Okay, it's obviously found footage, a la Blair Witch and
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield, you know, Chronicle. Okay, so it's shot from that camera by Dax, who I'm being told is a
A
YouTuber.
YouTuber,
famous
and a
YouTuber.
TikToker now too.
Is he on
TikTok,
TikTok?
Yes, he is on
Fuck,
TikTok.
man.
So what's his what is he on YouTube and TikTok? What-
He's just he's a strange nerdy character on.
no, what's
on
his name on?
Dax
Dax
Flame.
Flame.
Oh, Dax- it's just Dax
Yeah,
Flame.
His
it's just
name's Dax Flame. No
Okay.
one knows his actual real name, I don't think, or
Yeah.
whether it is his real name.
I mean,
Like,
I
could be,
actually
but-
researched this. This was also part. I don't know why, but this
He's
was
a
part of
good
my
guess.
research
He's
as
a
well.
good
'cause I was
guess.
like-
Yeah.
Because I recognized him in the film, and I was like, "Hold on, is that Dax Flame?"
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
I looked it up and everything, and I was like, "Yeah, holy shit, that's him." And then I just went through down a rabbit hole, and
Of who this?
apparently, yeah, it says officially his name on Wikipedia was like Madison something.
No way.
I was like, okay,
Oh.
they're taking the piss now.
Yeah, But
They're
then-
taking the piss. But he's in it, and yes, he is a TikToker and YouTuber who's just like really awkward.
Seems like a pretty cool guy. He's also in the 21 Jump Street film.
He is,
He
yeah,
is.
he is.
He's in that as well. I remember
Yeah.
him from that.
And he's got the same demeanor in almost
Yeah,
every single piece of media.
Literally
So-
same guy.
he the premise or the conceit is that he is the one filming all of this going
Yes.
down. He's filming Project X, which is
Yeah.
the birthday video for Thomas.
Yeah,
There are so many insane things that they get on in this film that
Yeah.
feel really well done in the sense of it feels really real.
Yeah.
right?
The flame sequence,
Yeah,
the whole time the thing's burning, there are so many people.
yeah.
The
I
crowd
think the
work.
amount of people that there were in it is kind of insane. Like
Yes.
it was like a zombie film.
Yeah.
And then also like when he fucking like that altercation with the neighbor where he gets tased and fucking hits that kid.
Yeah.
Also well done. I
No,
thought
no,
in
that
the
did look
camera
real
work.
too,
Like it
yeah.
was like
That-
I've seen that shit on World's Top. I've seen that. Like I have.
Damn, that's come across my explore
Yeah,
page on Insta
yeah,
or something,
yeah.
you know?
And then the fucking skateboard, when he's skateboarding from the top of the roof down
Oh,
the slats
yeah.
of the roof.
They actually
and like
did that. Yeah.
they actually did that.
Yes, they did.
Because that guy like smacks down onto the ground. Like his coccyx is gone.
Yep.
You know?
So was it a real party that they had?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was actually a real
no
party. Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
And
Just
they
with a
did
film
shit.
budget.
They
It's
did
a
it
party with a
for-
film budget, bro.
Exactly. They did it for, if I'm not mistaken, I think 5 straight days. So
Hell
So,
yeah.
so
They-
the
they would come
insanity
in-
of that in the movie, in the movie, it's an all night party.
Yeah.
They partied
5
for 5
days.
days to
5
make the
days, man.
movie.
5 days. They went and they were filming actually in the lot for Warner Brothers. So the Warner Brothers studio, they've got like
Yeah.
an area where they can film, and that's where they because I think
They
that
built the
same
neighborhood.
area actually was used in like some of the Batman films. I think
I
with
wouldn't be
Michael
surprised.
Keaton.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. They usually have quite big lots like that. So they've
Yeah.
like built the whole street basically.
Yeah. So it's
That makes
a
sense.
neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that
sense.
they've got there. That you can actually visit too. I don't know if it's gonna be the exact same because
Yeah.
they probably
It might be. I remember when I did the Universal Studios tour,
Oh yeah.
and we went through the back lot, and I remember literally looking, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's the house from this TV show I was watching, AP Bio."
Oh,
and
yeah.
all
I
the
know.
people who I was in the tour with, because it was
Yeah.
supposed to. Well, okay, it was because our school went on a science field trip to NASA, but only for
That's
1 week,
cool.
and then the back half was 1 week of NASA, and then the second week was like holiday trip, basically.
Ah.
Or I went to NASA.
So
Yeah,
a bunch of my friends were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
You know, and I was just excited because it's a random house on the back lot.
Nah, but that's still fun to see, to be fair.
Okay,
they
so
had a 5-day party.
5-day party on the Warner Brothers back lot.
Real
Yeah.
alcohol, real ecstasy.
Was it
No,
real alcohol?
I don't know about that.
So
I was only
the
playing with
whole
it.
okay, so the party was real, but the thing that was not real was just the alcohol. So they didn't have actual alcohol.
Just the alcohol, the ecstasy.
No,
What
yeah,
ecstasy?
yeah.
The ecstasy was real, guys.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ecstasy was real.
Have
So
fun,
they did take
guys.
it. That's why you kind
Yeah.
of saw their pupils
Yeah,
dilate
yeah.
and everything. But yeah, no, the alcohol and the ecstasy was fake. So they didn't actually take any drugs. Well, officially,
That we know
they
of.
didn't take
Yeah,
any drugs.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, and this is just coming from me. I don't want to do any kind
Yeah.
of slander or anything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they probably did some drugs.
Yeah.
Like there's that many people, and they need to keep their energies up. Some dodgy shit must have happened.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked for Judy Garland.
Well, there you go. You see?
If they can give Judy Garland methamphetamines to do The Wizard of Oz,
Then they can definitely do this.
They
They're
can
gonna be like,
definitely
it's just ecstasy.
It's
you
just-
know?
Yeah, you're right.
It's just ecstasy.
You're
Yeah.
Suck it up.
absolutely right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're rolling. Okay, we're rolling too.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's quite
But yeah, no. They try to make everything as real as possible.
It does, no, you do actually
you
feel
feel
it.
it.
Yeah.
There wasn't one moment in that street where you're like, oh, that's a Warner Brothers set.
Yeah.
The only time I did was obviously when you fucking had the whole like place going on fire and shit like that. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, that's a lot of money that they poured
Yeah.
into that. But-
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I actually wonder how much they spent like damaging that place.
We
Yeah.
can look at the budget. Let's
Yeah.
look at the unless you have those statistics.
So I don't have the budget. I just know that they did destroy the house for real. Because instead of relying on CGI, the crew actually decided to trash the house
Good.
for filming.
Good.
The production team. Okay, this is what's a bit weird because this is supposed to be in their back lot, Blondie Street. If
Oh,
that's-
Blondie
yeah.
Street.
So in Burbank, but they bought a house, they trashed it, and then they restored it after filming. they restored it afterwards.
Oh
That's
my
a lot
God.
of money.
Yeah.
man.
That's a
They're
lot
like, we're
of
gonna
money.
buy it. We're gonna buy it. We're gonna fuck it
Wreck
up,
it.
and then we're also
Then we're
gonna
gonna
bring
put
it
it
back
back
together.
together.
My
The
goodness,
fucking
man.
guy who sold that place is like, thanks.
Thank you.
Like, I guess.
Do you
That's
think
what
they
I'm
told?
saying.
Do you think they told the guy up front, or do you think they were like,
Yeah, I bet they're like, this is just for a film. They
Yeah.
never said like what the project was.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm thinking, did they? Well, they probably did, but that's also extra money to pay for.
"What if it was
as
a
well.
rental?"
Oh my god.
So the budget for this film was supposedly 12 million. 12
12
million.
12 million.
Which you feel like
For
doesn't
context, let's put this into context. This year's Best Picture winner Anora cost 6 million,
Oh wow.
and The Brutalist cost 10 million.
10 million.
So this movie cost $2 million more than The Brutalist and double the price of Anora.
that is
Damn.
crazy.
Although it did
That is
make
crazy.
a worldwide total of 102.7 million. So it
Ooh.
made its
So it
money
does.
back.
Tell you what,
made
so it
its
did
money-
make it's a profitable movie.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it made its money back. Yeah,
Oh my
decent,
God.
decent. But 12 million was not what I was expecting, which is also very different from fucking Lone Ranger, which was like, was it 40 million? or
Nearly
40?
No, 400,
400 million, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And it
that-
only
Army
made about
Hammer's
200
expensive,
million.
man.
Ooh.
Army Hammer's expensive.
No, Johnny Depp was
No,
expensive.
he's the cheaper one of the two. No one really cares about that actor. Like, Army Hammer's the star of that film. We all know
We
that.
all, oh
yeah.
yeah, we all know.
Yeah.
So this movie cost $12 million.
Yeah.
Made its money
and
back.
also, I do want to go back on one of the facts that I gave.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
The non-stop party filming. That wasn't 5 days. That was 5 weeks.
5
By the way.
weeks of partying.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
5 weeks of pretend
Of
partying.
pretend partying. And
Holy
that's why
shit.
I was saying that the party was actually real because they said they gave them drinks non-alcoholic.
Yeah,
That's what they said.
yeah,
So that's why I was like, okay.
And
yeah,
also,
you know,
With the amount of fucking people there, you know some people were like put this in the bottle.
Yeah.
Like, don't
There's bound
like.
to be some foul play
Yeah,
in there, man.
like-
there's
And I
so many
think
questions.
The
I have.
fucking first AD was pulling his hair out, but then the director's like, "Brilliant, man! Yeah, keep 'em on it. Like they're doing great acting. Like,
Shall
fucking-
we shout out the director? Who is the director of this movie?
So Nima
sorry.
Nourizadeh. He is he's French.
Of
At
course,
least
of course.
That's why you picked this.
That's exactly why I picked it. You know, shout out my French people. But yeah, so he's actually normally a music video director.
I can see that.
I can see that as well.
Actually, it makes total sense to hire him for this film. You know?
Yeah.
Because all of it is basically just a bunch of montages, really.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say, it is a series of just like watching people party.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously the amount of licensed music, like I said, Max is going to have a field day trying to edit that stuff out. Good luck to him, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's not my problem. But like Jin, you are right. You can definitely see the music video side of things. A lot of booty shots.
There was
a lot of booty shots, a lot of sloppy making out shots.
Booby shots. Lots of. I've never seen so many fucking tits in a shot.
Tits and fucking.
Like, damn.
That's exactly what Nima Nourizadeh wanted to do, you know?
Like,
but you couldn't really put them in music videos.
Yeah, it was like, I just want to load
it feels like, the movie feels like, almost like an extended TV episode. And then, because it's got like, it's like a sitcom where it's got these bits which are written out. You know, there are moments which are specified. And then they are spliced and taped together with montages of boobies and dancing.
Yeah,
you know?
That's actually true, yeah.
So it'd be like, oh my god, skateboarder just skated down the side of the house and he fell, cracked his ass. Cut to dancing, boobies, underwater,
Titties.
you know? Titties, the DJ.
girls making out.
And then cut to the next scene and it's like, I don't know.
The house is on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
and everyone's
genuinely.
like, yeah!
Bro, it feels like an episode of like Victorious or iCarly or something. Man. Everyone is on drugs, even
like
the
the
people who were filming.
It's like the Victorious Christmas special, you know?
Yeah, but
No,
like,
genuinely.
there is no. Okay.
This is serious business, Tyler. This is serious business. Okay. For safety, one more. The podcast you are listening.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that.
Okay.
Hey, Tyler here. You're listening to the One More for Safety podcast. Do you suspect your husband is having an affair? Well, keep listening to this podcast as a distraction to your loveless marriage.
Jesus Christ.
Like a producer who shout out to
Oh
Todd
yeah, so
Phillips.
produced by Todd Phillips
Makes
of
sense.
Joker and
Makes
Hangover
sense,
fame.
man.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I do think
I
that
would
was
also-
just a fantastic marriage, man. Just
Yeah.
having that director, having that producer to make something like this, it just, it
Who's
just
the
all
director again?
works,
What was
to
his
be
name?
fair.
What was their name?
Nima, it's a guy named Nima Nourizadeh.
What? Has
if you
he
want
done
me to
any
write
other
his name.
films?
Yeah, actually, has he done
I'm not sure if he's done any other films. I just know that was his debut. That
Ah,
was his debut feature film, actually.
Yo, I just looked at Google Casting and Dax Flame is technically topped billed above Miles Teller.
speaking of
it
which,
makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Which, yeah.
let's get into some of these side characters. So number one, Miles Teller fucking shows up as Miles
Yeah.
Teller in this movie.
Yep.
And
I
no-
told
no
you
one-
they would use all of their real names.
And no one really questions it. Like, it's just, oh, Miles Teller's here. That's cool.
They
Hey, man,
meet-
we're a big fan. Do you want to come to our party? Oh, I'm already going.
He's
Like-
like, I got this off of Craigslist,
Yeah.
man. Like, you know?
They
Yeah.
meet him at the grocery store as they're trying to buy, like, what are they? They're trying to buy booze, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so. Or just food. In
The
general,
food,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
snacks. And then in the next aisle over, Mr. Miles Teller is
Yeah.
there. And he's like,
Also buying beer.
also buying beer.
He's just shopping, casually shopping.
He arrives to the party in a full fucking party bus.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Oh
got the
my
fucking,
gosh.
I'm there
he's got
for
the
it, man.
girls coming out of the bus
Yeah.
in the slow-mo. And then later on, he's like, running away from like the fire with like a girl on
God.
piggyback.
Yeah. He
Damn,
was
Miles,
actually-
Miles Teller is literally the coolest character in this
Honestly,
film. Like,
he's the one who actually
He's a-
provided the ecstasy for them technically.
Yeah, technically he
he's-
was-
Oh yeah,
yeah.
he baseball batted the gnome that had all the ecstasy.
Yes,
Rest
because we
in
were wondering
peace.
why the hell is this guy so angry about his gnome getting taken?
yeah.
Okay, maybe it's got some sort of value to him, and clearly it does.
Yeah, monetary value.
Yeah.
which I'm sorry, but there was like so many ecstasy pills in there. Like
Yeah.
there is one person that took multiple and is like dead somewhere.
Oh, my
like, I'm
I
just
wouldn't
saying.
be surprised if more of them
Yeah.
were like were
At
dead,
least
you know?
5 people died in that
Yeah,
fire.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Well, it's a miracle that the fucking drug dealer survived.
Yeah,
He
the
fucking-
actual guy with the flamethrower who had his fucking tank shot off.
Bro was like on fire, running into a fucking caravan,
Yeah.
and then the caravan blew up.
Exploded.
Yeah,
Which
and somehow he still made it
Also,
out
by the way,
alive.
so the
Enough for him to go, Costa!
the riot cops come in and start shooting at this guy with a flamethrower, which is
Should have
valid.
been live rounds.
But they were,
Totally
yeah,
should
they
have
were
been
shooting
live
fucking
rounds.
rubber bullets.
Yeah.
If that guy was black,
Yeah.
he
That
would
is-
be dead.
That is.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
100%.
It's a good thing he opened his fucking gas mask to reveal that he was
Yeah.
white,
And
or
they're like,
else
"Oh,
he'd
thank
be
God."
gone. He said, "Oh, better break out the
we
rubber
can talk him
bullet."
down.
Yeah, yeah,
We can
yeah.
talk him down.
He's just misunderstood. He's having a mental crisis.
Oh my gosh.
That was a bit that was kind of wild. Though.
That was
Yeah.
insane.
That was a wild moment.
Other
This
side
one was kind
characters.
of wild.
It really was
It was
just
kind of crazy.
It's
shit
kind of
was
crazy.
happening.
Kind of
Shit
crazy.
was happening.
Wow.
And I think that's what the critics were saying as well. There were there were a lot of critics that were saying that one of the things that they hated about this movie was just that things happened.
Mhm.
But what's funny is,
Things did happen.
yeah, there were quite a few other films that
There's a lot of films that I can think about that things happen.
and then they've got critical acclaim.
Yeah.
But also, what's funny to me is they all just said like, "Oh, I hate this film because shit happens," and then there were a lot of audiences that went, "Oh, I love this film because shit happens."
Yeah.
It's just so
Yeah,
good. I don't know.
It rides that line, I do think. I think it does feel like an acquired taste. I think it's
Yeah.
like you either love that kind of thing of like seeing teenagers get fucked up and do dumb shit,
Yeah.
or you hate it.
Yeah. No, it's
Like
true.
I know people like I this film really did remind me of Superbad for sure. Like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
like the
that's what a lot
setup
of
of
people
the
are saying, yeah.
the three
The
losers.
crazier-
Yeah.
The super bad at like 150%.
Yeah,
kind of
it
thing.
feels like Superbad meets Cloverfield, basically. Like,
what a
Yeah.
tagline.
No, but even with the end, like
Yeah.
the
There's that-
ending scene,
yeah.
yeah, no,
it feels like it.
everyone running around with like fires
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very interesting that. Yeah, I mean, we kind of mentioned it earlier. It feels like it's like disparate sitcom bits that are
Yeah.
taped together to form some sort of story.
Yeah,
Which is that's not inherently a negative in and of itself.
No,
It
no.
can be funny, and I think there are a lot of bits that are funny. I think there is a way that it could have been. It does feel like a lot of the time they are bits for the sake of being bits, for the sake of being gratuitous and like, oh my god, like being
Yeah.
crazy.
oh, yeah.
Which obviously it finds an audience with
Yeah.
that. It works for some people, but I
Yeah,
do think
like-
there would have been a way to like thread that needle a little better of being like there is a reason to the madness. You know,
Definitely.
It
I
was a
think,
very gratuitous.
I think.
film.
you don't
in
think?
I think it was a very gratuitous film.
Oh, you
but
think-
I,
okay,
I-
yeah.
But I think it's like you said, it's a part of the times. You know, I think
Maybe.
films were kind of very raunchy and gratuitous then. You couldn't get away with the amount of titty and booty shots that you see, like other than a music video. I feel like, if you
Yeah.
ask me, like
In a sense, I
I
guess
think
that's
if-
why Superbad is regarded as great,
Yeah.
and this movie isn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is Superbad. Is
It rides
still,
that line.
Rides that
It
line.
rides
it's
that
raunchy.
line
It does
very
have
well.
moments and comedic bits where it's like, this is insane.
Yeah.
But the character arc,
you actually see them.
you see it, and it feels satisfying when you hit the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Actually, I think there aren't actually necessarily specific character arcs for the characters. They feel like archetypes,
Mhm.
other than Thomas, who's the one that actually goes
As
through
the
this kind
arc-ish.
of arc of being
Ish, yeah,
cool,
yeah.
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 Not being cool, and getting everything at the end, you know?
Yeah, that's
Like,
literally the arc.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's it's a 2-step process.
Like,
He's
okay,
uncool.
you
Now
got-
he's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
You just
It's
need to
like-
host a good party, man.
Good for you. You don't care about being cool at the end. You just care about Kirby, but you still got everything.
Yeah,
you
exactly. You
wanted.
still
the
got
OG
everything.
you wanted. You know.
You guys are just mad because you're the nice guys that never had
Yeah.
the parties, bro. That's what it was. You're like, oh, that could have been me.
I'm not even joking.
Kirby, I
feel
could
like-
have treated you
Yeah.
better.
I feel like that was definitely half of the critics. You know, I definitely
Yeah, like-
think they were like, "No, he doesn't get to have a good ending."
No,
Yeah, they.
I
yeah.
wanted to go.
I didn't get the invite.
Yeah, there were some of the people who weren't invited there. That's why.
Yeah.
You know,
All
It was a
jealous.
cool kids party. They were like, "Oh, this is unrealistic." No, it's because you've never actually gone to those kind of parties.
To be
before,
honest,
right, mate?
I just silence every single critic that I hear with saying, well, you're jealous.
Oh man.
Yeah, I gave
Could you
you.
imagine?
I tried to give you notes on Midnight Crisis, and
Yeah, I
you
was like, "You're
smacked me down.
Jealous bitch.
My thing's won awards, right?
I'm going.
Leave me alone.
I'm going.
Go.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you guys where you do see the arc very clearly in Superbad. You know, the character development because it's scripted. It's very well scripted.
Yeah.
But with this film, they got given, you know, it was not even semi-scripted. They got given certain things to hit, but it was very, very
Freeform.
yeah, it was
I can
improvisation.
That does not surprise me.
Which
I
is
can-
good.
I can see
yeah,
that.
because it kind of did help with the trying to sell this realism.
Well, that's what I was about to say. It does feel painfully realistic.
Yeah.
On the subject of
Ish.
well, yeah, painfully grounded. I think in the sense
Yeah,
of
let's go with that.
of the aesthetic,
Yeah.
not necessarily the story, but the aesthetic definitely feels grounded.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd hate the found footage more than I actually did.
Yeah.
Because I think like we've seen quite a few found footage films. And I feel like this one was kind of like it. I thought it was quite well done. I thought
Very
it was
well
quite
shot,
fun. Yeah,
surprisingly.
yeah,
Very-
exactly. Yeah.
Surprisingly well shot. I mean, like, there's a few moments where I was surprised by how they got around covering a scene with the found footage, because obviously for most of the time it's just the Dax cam.
Yeah.
That's the main cam.
But then you see like other people with
sometimes
with
it'll cut to
cameras.
the security
They have
guards.
the fucking body cam.
What are they
yeah.
named?
Shit.
Tyler and
Yeah.
what's the other guy?
I don't remember the other one.
The one that Tyler's the black guy.
He gets
Yeah.
called, the other guy gets called E.
Yeah,
no, no,
but
and
the
he-
other guy was cool.
But yeah, there's a few times where it cuts to their phone cam, and
Yeah.
then it'll cover a scene like that. Like
Yeah.
it'll still do like
Shot reverse
shot
shot.
reverse shot, but
like the when the neighbor comes to the
Yes.
door. and-
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
came
exactly.
to
That
mind.
was
That's
what-
what came
yeah,
to
yeah.
mind for
Yeah.
sure.
so I was surprised by how smooth it felt. At no point did I feel taken out by the fact that it was shot
Exactly.
from like
Yeah,
a
no, I was
found
about to
footage.
say you don't get taken out at all. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel weird or jumbly or anything like that.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to get back to your point about the Superbad versus Project X
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I think the reason why is because the film in Superbad is about the dynamic between Evan and Seth,
Yeah.
Mm.
whereas this film is about the party.
Yeah.
If that makes sense,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a different priority. Like
Yeah.
it's not about the conflict between the characters. It's about them trying to host this like
Yeah.
uber awesome party.
Party,
It feels like maybe the main character, apart from Thomas, was the party itself.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of character development that we're seeing. It goes from
Well, yeah, you see it. Yeah,
goes
yeah.
from being such a nice house and stuff, a nice neighborhood, to then becoming something destroyed.
But
It's the
down.
deconstruction arc of the
yeah.
house. Really.
Yeah.
and a legend within people's memories. That's
Yeah.
what it feels like, if anything. Yeah, so the focus is kind of different. That's probably what it is. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest though. I would probably, yeah, I get to be cool, but that is sacrificing like my whole house.
Yeah.
Like
That's
my
just not
cars.
happening,
Like
man.
I feel like that would be a point where I'd be like, maybe this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
When they broke that first window, I'd have been like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think this party's over now. Like,
We kept saying
There
throughout
was-
the film, like, okay, this would be the
Yeah.
point where I would tell everyone to just get the fuck out.
We are.
no, it's
It's
so
like you are in a 16-ton truck filled with 1,500 people
Yeah.
on the highway,
Yeah.
and there are multiple off ramps you could
Yeah.
have taken to get off this highway,
but
and
instead
you
you're
were
gonna
like,
go off the
"Nope,
bridge.
nope, we're gonna go all the way to the end where the bridge is not finished being built
Oh,
and
man.
drive it off the cliff."
Yeah, but you kind of have to go 50 miles an hour or something like that. Like, you can't go under.
There was obviously the skateboarder breaks through the window.
Yeah.
Then the cops come the first time.
I thought
And-
that was quite smart, to be fair.
That's pretty funny.
I
But
mean,
I'm just
have
like,
to-
would that work? There's no way they wouldn't be able to.
Well,
How
no,
are you
you
gonna
need a
hide
warrant. You
about
need a
1,000
warrant.
people?
Yeah,
You
do
need a warrant to go into someone's house.
I know,
so
but
that-
like,
And by that
I'm
time,
not
there
saying-
wasn't that many people that were. Well, I say there wasn't that many people. It literally cuts to a shot where the entire garden,
Backyard.
Yeah.
like almost you could.
the backyard looks
Yeah.
like Coachella. The backyard looks like
But-
You could
Coachella.
barely even see the grass. You're just seeing like everyone just crouching through. It felt like you're looking at a video version of Where's Wally.
All right.
Like
But in the end, it looks like a fucking Left 4 Dead, like,
Yeah, it feels like a zombie movie.
Genuinely,
No,
literally.
definitely. That's
you
why-
just see people like this, like scrambling around
The
the, house.
fire
and they're
starts
on the
going. People are
roof, like,
puking
yeah.
out and just
Yeah,
like
the-
crawling, smacking into each
Yeah.
other. And
the
things.
40 or 50-year-old
That
man
was
just
literally about
pukes
to
on the
say.
window bruh, and then just wipes it and goes away.
I love the
That
interview
felt like a zombie
afterwards.
movie.
I
Yeah,
love the
yeah.
interview afterwards where he's,
He's
like,
so
it's
he's
wrong.
so out of it.
Yeah.
I love. I also did just
1,000
love
yards
seeing
there.
all the old people peppered in. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just
we-
the randomly part of the party.
I would definitely be that guy. I'd be like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, there's like a big old house party, then maybe I'll rock up and play
Yeah.
some beer pong.
You see, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, I feel
Maybe.
like some of them would do that. They would let me just and then just dip out.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I do. That's
Yeah,
what I do.
exactly. Put your
Maybe when
feet
the
in a
police
little
came
bit.
over, I'd be like,
Yeah, maybe
I'm
it's
gonna
time
go back to
go
my
now.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking, yeah, that's when the party's gonna end,
Yeah.
and then you wake up. Can you imagine waking up 9 a.m. You need
That
to go
house.
to your 9 to 5, and then all of a
the whole
sudden you're like,
fucking neighborhood.
what
You know,
the
you-
fuck just happened last night?
Yeah,
Why is my tree gone?
yeah.
Because that,
Yeah.
yeah, he set everything on
The
fire.
street parking situation
Yeah.
was insane.
Because yeah, there were cars everywhere, riddled. I don't. That's why I kind of commended the film in a way, for them bringing the cops the second time. But then because they couldn't actually get
Yeah,
through,
Yeah.
they were like, we're gonna
Smart.
wait for it to die down. And
And
then
it's
eventually
not.
they're like, no, wait, yeah, this is
Yeah.
going too far. We need to bring like the riot police.
And then they
in."
see it on the night. They're seeing it on the TV inside the house on the news, and they was
Yeah.
like, "We're gonna have to just let this die
So
down." They just peter out themselves, and they're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, we did
All of them
it.
watching that and going like, yeah, we can still party for long now.
Celebrating like they just
I-
fucking caught Osama bin Laden. Just
Yeah.
like, "Whoa!"
I reckon though,
We got
I
'em.
reckon that is police procedure. Like what they did where they go to the house, they say, hey man, like keep it down, like, you know, you're not gonna do anything bad, are you?
Mm.
And they're like, no officer, no we're not.
Yeah,
And then like they literally can't get in. Like I can definitely
Yeah,
see
yeah,
yeah.
No, I'm just
Like,
surprised that they
the-
managed to hide as many people as they did in
Yeah.
the backyard and not have it be suspicious.
No one making a single noise
Yeah.
in that. Damn, man.
As people who have been on film sets,
Yeah.
right? The moment you ask for the sound to be able to get their fucking scratch track, you know,
Yeah.
just the room tone.
yeah.
And you have to tell everyone, okay, everyone shut the fuck up, be quiet, don't move.
Just for a
because we just
minute.
for a
a
minute.
minute.
For a minute so we can get room tone. No one can last a minute.
Exactly.
And you're
There's
telling
always
me-
someone that's gonna look at the other person. It feels like we're back in secondary school again, and like, yeah, and
You gonna laugh?
someone
You gonna
has to
laugh?
laugh.
That's with less than 20 people in a room.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
telling me 1,000 people in a backyard aren't gonna make a little bit of noise.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Maybe they just loved the party so much that they were that dedicated.
Yeah.
But-
you're
Nah, the
truly-
sound guy was definitely like, everyone just be quiet for a second.
Everyone, we need to get room tone.
tone.
No, it's I mean, let's shout out some of the side characters because
Oh yeah, let's go back to that. Yeah.
the security guard duo
Oh,
are the
Yeah,
funniest,
they're the funniest
fucking
fucking
people.
guys. They were the
Yeah.
funniest
The
guys.
guy, they had their fucking bomb ass yellow jackets
Yeah.
that say
The
security on the
side
back.
eye, like
low-key-
Oh, side eye, yeah.
It's just like
You're
little.
just going.
It's just like a little shit like that. I
Yeah.
think is really funny and like really charming.
The
Yeah.
guy who is assigned to like, so okay, the one of the neighbors comes and says, "Hey, you gotta be quiet. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like we have a baby, we're trying to sleep. It's
Yeah.
too loud." And he fucking tasers the kid, the guy.
Yes, man.
Then the guy smacks the kid.
Yeah. And you're thinking, whoa, hold
Whoa.
on. Things are like
Yeah.
getting out of hand, not knowing what's gonna happen in the rest of the film.
But then he
But it was
fucking
actually a
goes-
good. Yeah,
And then
that
he's
was a
like
good-
goes to the
undercover.
house.
Yeah, he then
Yeah.
sneaks into the neighbor's house.
And for what?
So for reconnaissance,
Right,
quote
like-
unquote.
I love it. I love it.
Deep behind enemy lines to say, yo, I think they're calling the cops. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
No shit. If it's not this house, it's one of the other 7 houses in
Exactly.
this
What are you
neighborhood.
gonna do? Is you gonna go into every other person's house? Come on, man.
I do think it was also. I do think they hit like a few points of realism, like the dad calling and being like, "Look, I know the neighbors. They're probably over exaggerating, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
shit
yeah.
It's
like
like,
that. Like
please tell me
it's
they're
already cottoned on. It's not
Yeah.
like one of those like American like parties where it's like the parents come back and they're like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like
Because the neighbors would rat you out.
yeah,
100%.
immediately.
And you could tell because I really like the fact that in the beginning of the film, you know, the dad was like, yeah, well, I didn't like it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said, yeah, my son's basically a loser.
Yeah, just straight up.
There's
He
just
is,
no
though.
way he's gonna, you know, do something crazy.
yeah.
So when he's having these calls, you know, he's a bit in denial.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
I know, you know, I know
This
it's not
can't
gonna
be
be that
it.
crazy. Just keep it down, all right? They're yelling at me down the phone. And then there's also some shots where you see from across the way, yeah, the fucking neighbors like are looking
Yeah.
through the fucking
Oh,
window.
mate, it's so
Oh,
good.
man.
It's good shit.
I feel like that'd be you.
Yeah, I'd be like,
If
"Who
you
the
weren't, yeah,
fuck
if
are
you weren't
these
at the
people?"
party, you'd be
If
like,
I
oh,
weren't invited.
Tyler
man.
would get into the party.
Yeah.
The neighbors are me.
Yeah.
The neighbors are me where I'm like, these motherfuckers. Tyler would walk across the street
I'd
and
be
go,
that
what's
old
going
me a
on,
bottle.
man? Like,
Oh, you
can
guys
give me a
are
beer?
having a little party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at beer pong myself.
Is
You're,
that-
yeah, you're literally that
Yeah,
guy with the
yeah.
mustache.
I would be.
Give the
Yeah.
like the high five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't tell the wife.
Yeah,
No,
Like,
obviously,
oh.
obviously. Come on.
Oh
now.
my gosh. Yeah, I could definitely see you being the one to puke
I
all
would
over
be.
that car
Yeah,
window.
just wipe it. That is
Yeah.
the
Oh my
horrendous.
god. Obviously, we talked about the drug dealer and we've talked about Miles Teller.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of the drug dealer thing, with the flamethrower, they were actually they took that out of the film, initially.
For budgetary reasons.
No, not even
They
like
already filmed
they
it.
filmed it and everything.
Oh, sorry. Oh, they were
Um,
gonna cut it out like in the edit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were just gonna take it out of the film, but they loved like the test audiences loved it so much that they had to just put it back.
Oh, I could. Yeah,
It's
no
such a
shit.
stupid
Yeah.
and silly scene that honestly, if it wasn't there, it would not matter.
Yeah.
It wouldn't add to the story whatsoever.
I love the idea that was their line to
Yeah.
father filmmakers were like,
Yeah.
after all the shit they've done,
To be
like,
fair,
maybe not the
That
flamethrower.
was also kind
Yeah.
of riding my line a little bit. I was like, mate, there's a guy that's just fucking showing up with a flamethrower, burning
Exactly.
shit down.
That's where you're
But-
like, okay, I'm taking out now.
But it's fine. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny that he came back.
it was pretty fun.
But then I also reckon that Todd Phillips was like, we spent way too much money burning this fucking
Oh
neighborhood
no, Todd
down.
Phillips must have enjoyed the fuck about spending that much money to make this movie. As
Definitely.
we've seen with his movies, the man is not a subtle filmmaker. I'm pretty sure he would he probably gave the note of like, you gotta make sure that the people know Thomas is a loser. To just
Yeah.
have the dad say he is a
He's a
loser.
loser. Yeah, yeah.
I know people who use subtlety.
what do you mean?
Cowards.
What do you mean? Well, you know.
Coward.
But like you know, and obviously I think when Joker 2 came out, Folie à Deux,
Right.
they were, you know, people were saying like, why did it cost so much money to make a Joker sequel? And then Todd Phillips was like, fuck off, you know, like people should be celebrating me for we spent all this money on art, you know. There's nothing wrong with taking this much money from a studio and making something out of it. And in
I
a
kind of
sense,
agree with him. Yeah,
I kind of agree with him.
What
On
would
another hand, could have spent on something other than a Joker 2.
Yeah,
But, you know, I like the
could think of-
sentiment.
Yeah.
I could think of other things to spend that money on. To be honest, that isn't Joker
But
2.
$12 million on this movie, you know, I get, okay, you know what? Fine, sure.
I actually can kind of see it with the amount of damage that they.
Also,
that
this
they
was
did.
2012, different time. The movie economics are different
Yes.
now.
That is true. That is very
We're
right.
not taking into consideration inflation.
But
Or the fact that it's a
that's also kind of-
Netflix-only streaming movie.
Ooh,
Wait,
Project
what?
X?
is it?
Well, we can't find it I couldn't find it anywhere else.
Oh damn.
That is true.
Yeah. I
It
guess now
is. It is a
yeah.
small, like not small. It's an old film, though. To be fair.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
like-
yeah.
2012 being old is insane.
Yeah, it's upsetting, isn't it?
Yeah.
13 years ago.
God.
To
How
me,
does it
that
feel, Tyler?
Specifically Tyler.
specifically
Tyler,
me.
yeah, how does it feel,
to be
Tyler?
so fucking old? It's pretty good, actually.
Hey man.
The midget in the oven.
Yeah.
Midget in the oven.
That shit got me.
That-
I like little humor.
Sorry, so let's just say that the fire, you were like, this is writing the line. The midget being stuffed in the oven, you were like, this is still
Comedy gold. Comedy gold,
No,
mate.
definitely though.
Comedy gold.
Because okay, I'm not laughing at the fact that this.
Also-
No, I am laughing at the fact
Yeah,
that
I
this
think it's
happened.
so funny.
But also because it's not real. That's why I'm like, okay,
Can
you know,
you,
this
like-
is fine.
Oh, mate.
Are we also supposed to call them midgets or are they dwarfs? What do we call them?
Guys, all right.
We call them little boys now.
No.
But what about the women?
Yeah, what about
Also
the
little
women?
Little boys, yeah.
No, dwarves, I think.
Are they dwarves?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
you can call them dwarves. I think midgets is a bit offensive.
That's
now.
what I've see. We've said it a few times now, and every time I'm like, are we supposed to say this? Dwarf.
Just bleep it every single time that they say midget.
Yeah.
Every
Midget.
time we
Midget.
say
Every
midget.
single time we've
Midget.
said midget in this segment,
Just
we need
bleep
Max to to bleep out the word midget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Midget.
I'm gonna be honest.
Midget.
I think adding the bleep is gonna
Midget.
make it sound worse.
I know.
I think adding the bleep is gonna make it sound like we are saying the most heinous thing.
Well, to
Hey
be
Max,
fair,
hey
also-
Max, hey Max. Midget.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Fucking midget.
No,
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 that's
if you
kind-
bleep it out,
No,
that's no
bleep
evil
it out.
word.
That
No,
sounds
please,
horrific.
please bleep it out.
Oh, yeah.
Please bleep it out. Have this whole segment so that we've got context to this, please.
But yeah, no. So the dwarf being stuffed into the oven was pretty funny. I
That
would
was
say.
funny. Then he drove the car, and then he slipped out a little M word there. Yeah, that was.
Oh my gosh, did he?
Yeah, you
Oh,
missed
man.
it.
No, I
you
did miss
missed
it. What?
Oh, I was keeping track of all of the fun little words that they
Oh
were saying.
man,
to
I
me.
know Costa said one.
Let's have running tally.
We
We had someone say what rhymed with regarded.
yeah,
Mhm.
regarded.
We
They
had
said that at least
something
4
that was
times.
rhymed with
Um,
Carly Farshot.
yeah, fraggot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, yeah. Then you also had. You had what other ones do you have? Do you have
You
What
had
was-
the M word one.
what midget?
No, no. If you
Please, I'm actually praying. Please bleep all of them.
Yeah.
Please bleep all of them.
If
It'd
you-
be so funny.
if you are a dwarf listening to this, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean it like that.
I meant it. No,
Yeah, anyone who's
I
got
knew-
dwarfism, yes, Tyler didn't mean it like that.
but
Tyler
Imran
did.
did.
Oh,
yeah, but Imran did, yeah.
It's not sincere.
But
But yeah, I mean, that did also kind of get me. I was like, oh, you couldn't be saying that stuff
No,
now.
you
You couldn't be
definitely
saying that.
That one had such big like. There's a few moments where it feels. You know what? That's what it's reminding me of. Jackass.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It has that tone
Very.
of a Jackass
that
film
makes sense.
with the ever increasing like
Antics.
skits and
Yeah,
antics that they
yeah.
end up doing. That's what feels like.
Yeah, definitely.
It's got Jackass energy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think you can definitely see that it's been inspired by that. Because also, I've seen Jackass videos where they've tried to like skateboard down the roof of a house or
Oh,
something
man.
like that.
That makes.
Yeah.
You know what? If
Yeah.
if they did take inspiration of that,
I wouldn't be surprised. Or it may not have been Jackass. It may have just been a video that I've seen of a guy trying to skateboard down a house.
Before we could.
But there was definitely a 2012 kind of thing. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
that
Jackass
happened
was
there
big.
very
Jackass was
of
big.
its time.
He's calling it jackass, by the way. Very English.
Yes, yeah, all right.
Jackass.
Jackass. Jackass. Jackass.
Come on, they're American. You
Yeah,
gotta say like
I say like jackass. You know?
No, I shall say it like jackass.
jackass.
I am a fan.
It sounds very erudite now. Jackass 5.0. Yeah, very, yeah, movie of the time for sure.
But did you enjoy it? That's the question, Imran. Did you enjoy the film?
I had fun hate watching it.
You didn't
Hate watching it. Come on.
No. It was funny. It was funny at parts. It was just execution, and the story infuriated me. And maybe it was supposed to. Maybe it was supposed to.
maybe
And
it was.
if the function of the story was to infuriate me,
It worked.
congratulations, it did.
Yeah.
What did you think, Elijah? Did you enjoy the movie watching it back?
Yeah, no,
You like this
enjoyed
movie?
it. I enjoyed it so much, and it was so much nicer watching it with people as well.
Oh, stop it. Stop it, Elijah.
friends. No, it was really fun because I just loved you guys' commentary over it. But also, yeah, it just did feel nostalgic. And
Does
bear in
feel
mind,
it's nostalgic.
Not to me.
I
I'm gonna be
was-
so honest.
I was 11 in 2012, or almost 11. So,
How old am I?
you know, I wasn't there during the time that they did that specifically, but
But you remember it.
yeah, I remember, you
I'm
know,
9
like going
in
to-
2012.
Well, see, there you go.
9, 11.
Yeah, I
13.
was about to turn 11, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, it was yeah, no, it was just it was nostalgic because even though I didn't have any parties when I was, you know, when I was
11.
Of that
or,
age,
yeah,
yeah.
in that age and during that era, when I got older and I did end up having parties that were not that crazy, by the way, but kind of adjacent to that, it did make me feel like, yeah, no, shit like this did happen. Though.
Yeah.
There were some people that were just doing things that were kind of crazy, and you would look at them and think, you are so stupid. You know what I'm saying? And you know, wanting to like leave the party halfway through
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well,
I did feel like the first half of the movie's Thomas, you know, where I was just worried every single time.
well, we spoke about this. Yeah, I could not host a party.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Because of the fears of this.
there's
to be
still
honest.
time.
No.
Hey man.
There's still
What,
time.
are you hosting one?
I
I've suddenly got a dentist appointment. I have to go.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you in the sense of like, this is it dialed up to 11.
Yeah.
But you do certainly feel like the obviously the nostalgia trip of the time.
Yeah.
But also I have been to parties where wild shit has kind of happened.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just obviously this is
exaggerated
Hollywood's
for
version.
Hollywood effect,
Hollywood's
yeah.
version of like the wildest party and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
But if you check out the commentary, guys, maybe you'll hear some of those wacky anecdotes.
Oh
I don't know if I
my.
remember. I don't know if I remember. I don't know if I actually remember saying any of them, but
There are some.
there were some
I
some
feel
things
like
that I
wouldn't
remember.
be able to say any of them.
Well, let's get into our one more for safety patented. Still
Yes.
approved. Still waiting approval. Shelf life
Shelf life.
rating
We'll
system.
call it shelf life rating.
Shelf life.
Yes. So
So
Well, it's-
basically, you know, it's like if you had to rate this movie, we don't have a star system here. We're better than that.
yeah, we don't believe
Okay?
in numbers.
We don't believe in numbers.
Okay.
we don't believe. We
Okay.
disapprove of numbers.
We
really.
disapprove
Right.
of the numerical system.
Yeah.
Alright,
What
you
we do
little
have
anarchists.
is a completely subjective verbal system called the shelf life system, where how would you recommend this movie? Theater watch, Blu-ray, DVD, you know, bargain bin.
Yeah.
Where on the shelf are you putting this? Are you buying this at all? Are you saying
Yeah.
wait for streaming?
So let's look at this. Like, if you look at a shelf, you know,
So let's start with you, Tyler. So
Okay,
he gets
alright, yeah.
he gets
So
a idea of it.
this for me would like this would be on the shelf.
Okay.
This would be on the shelf.
You're buying
but
it.
I would say it would probably go like back of shelf gem. If you ask me, like I would put it as like
Blu-ray or DVD? Are you shelling
I'm
out
a
for the
DVD
extra?
man. Okay,
DVD.
I will firmly stick with DVD. I will keep the DVD industry alive. Okay.
Why,
I don't. I refuse.
It's not that much more
Yeah.
cheaper than a Blu-ray,
I
technically.
know. I just can't help myself. It's just stuck in my ways. But it would be back a shelf in that I haven't seen it like very often. But if I was to like say rearranging my shelf and I saw it in the back there, I'd pull it out and maybe watch it. You know, so I'd say back of the shelf, but not in a bad way.
I think for me, how we watched it is exactly how I'd rate it. It's a streaming. I would watch it on a streaming service because I've never heard of it before, or maybe I would watch it on like HBO because they show it on like the movie channel.
Yeah.
I'd watch it one time and be like, never again.
That's it. That's your lot.
I'm
your
good.
lot. I would say my shelf life, back a shelf, but
That's not to
solid.
say it's a bad movie. It's more of like I have no interest in
taste.
putting myself through that again. I was stressed.
Yeah. That is one thing.
Yeah,
That was
extremely stressed, man.
For the listeners at home who can't see, obviously, Tyler and Elijah are sat on my couch. I have to sit near my computer because we don't have 3 microphones that can all be wireless, so I have to be close to the computer. They are looking at the TV. I'm behind them. At one point, I tell Elijah, turn around, and I have my left hand in my head, and I'm holding the microphone like up to my face, covering it. I cannot believe what I had been watching for like a half hour.
That was him for the
Head
rest
in
of the
hands.
movie.
So I mean, definitely, experience it at least once.
Yes.
So you can see what we're on about, because this is truly an experiential movie.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm a one and done on this.
One and
front.
done.
Okay, that's fair enough.
All right. So what about you, Elijah? You have a very vague understanding of the shelf life system.
Yeah.
Tell us where you'd put it on your shelf.
With a little
if you
bit of
would.
understanding that I've got, I think I would definitely have it. I would own it.
Okay.
And put it up on the shelf. Yeah, probably back a shelf. And then whenever I'd see it, not even a clearing out situation. I would just, look at my shelf and be like, what do I want to watch today? But it would only be in a situation where I'm with people. Because it'd be really funny to kind of just show them this and then see their reactions. Just like Imran's reaction, That's very fun. I didn't even expect him to be like this. But being stressed out for like an hour 30 of the runtime was so funny to me, man.
It's a sharing movie.
Mate,
You want to see other people's reactions.
Exactly. And
You
that's
break
the-
it out when you want to show people a good time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's the reason as to why I would watch that film again. Any other time, I don't think I would watch it by myself after having watched it.
I think it's a good movie to watch with people.
Yeah,
I think actually,
definitely, it's quite fun.
yeah.
You know what? You nailed the shelf life system. That's it.
Thank you, guys. Give me a clap.
Hell
Give me a
yeah.
little round of applause, man. Thank you.
Hey, we have our first guest shelf life
Yeah.
rating.
And our first guest episode in general, Elijah. Thank you so much for
thanks,
joining.
man.
Thank you. No, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I thought it was quite fun. It was nice watching the film with you guys and going through these fun facts about it as well.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying you came more prepared than we have ever come to any recording
We
of
have
One
no
More for
fun
Safety.
facts.
Thank
We
you,
just
I
we
appreciate
just
it.
talk about our feelings.
Well, we Google it as we're doing the discussion.
that is true.
We Google
That
as
is
we go.
true.
Very
It's
true.
good
So,
to come in.
It's so fun to have you on.
Yeah.
You have to come back and do Spy Kids.
I would love to, guys.
We
Please.
should do the
Hell
Spy Kids
yeah.
film.
Just let me speak about Steve Buscemi. I just want to speak about him. Alright?
yeah.
I want to speak about that one line.
We
please.
should.
We're
Oh, that is a great line.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you back. We should. Oh my God, we'll do a Spy Kids month. We'll have a whole month of Spy Kids.
Oh hell yeah!
Yes.
It's gonna get bad.
Spy Kids September.
Oh.
There's
He's already-
it's already alliterative.
Yeah, he's already come up with stuff like.
Hey
he's
man.
teasing with ideas.
Hey man,
Whoa.
he's the ideas guy. I'm just here for fun. Like, he comes up
But
with
you've
this
got
stuff.
something about you, like that woman
Yeah.
said. You've got something about
You
you.
got, yeah, exactly.
I'm
Like
exactly what he's looking
like
for.
the music producer.
music
I see
producer.
something.
Yeah,
in
you see the
Tyler.
potential.
I know you don't know how to play any instruments, so you can't sing, but you just got that
But I
X factor,
see something. I see something in you.
But that's all for this week.
Yeah.
Guys, who's the next guest? That's what I want to know.
We don't really know that many people or have that many friends, so
I think I can soft announce it now because he has agreed.
Oh.
We just don't know when we're recording it, but Mr. Mason Perry might be coming onto the podcast sometime in the future.
Okay.
To,
the director of Fernando.
To director of Fernando
Yeah.
and actress persona, who might be bringing a little special extra
Hell.
look and thoughts on his new short film, live action.
Oh.
So it might be sometime around then. We don't know when we're gonna record it with him, but he has said he is interested.
Famous director Mason
And
Perry.
he is also a fan of the pod. Apparently, he has heard our both of the D&D episodes and is a fan. So shout out Mason.
Shout out to that guy.
We can't wait for you to come on and talk live action and whatever film you decide to bring on.
Yes, yes. I think
But-
we do need to get more guests on.
We're gonna get more guests
Yeah,
on, and we
it
need
should
to
be
have
fun.
Elijah back on.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll come back. I'll see if I can clear my schedule.
Yeah, let
for
me
you
just
guys.
check my timetable.
Let me pencil you in.
Let me speak to my agent.
But till then, thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thanks guys. This has been fun. It's
has
been really
been
fun
fun.
to hang out with you guys.
If you want to see more episodes of One More for Safety, make sure you check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever
All that
podcasts
stuff.
are sold.
And Audible.
Oh,
And
sorry, and
Audible.
Audible. It's on
And
Audible.
Audible. Don't
Pocket
forget-
Casts, all those stuffs, we're on there.
all the
If you want to follow us specifically, Red Squadron
yeah.
Productions on
We have an
Instagram.
Instagram
We have an
now,
Instagram.
so you can check
where
us out there.
We post clips from the show and you can get updated on
You'll
whatever
see
else
us
we're
doing
up to.
bits there. You know, we'll be about.
Yeah. Elijah, where can people follow you if they want to?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, you can just follow me around.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
in
Oh, in
person.
real life.
In
In real
person.
In
yeah.
real life.
Just show.
No.
Tell us your address.
We'll bleep it out.
Um,
We'll bleep it out.
yeah.
No, you can follow me on Instagram, Elijah.m4k, where you'll be able to see some of the work that I'm currently doing and
Yeah.
have done. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah. We're going to be working on something soon that we'll be looking
Yes,
forward
I
to.
am.
We'll
Oh,
be looking
yeah. Oh,
forward to
that's
seeing.
right.
I'm not gonna say.
Sorry, yeah. We can say could be a Red Squadron co-production.
It could be,
potentially. But until that time, thank you all for listening.
Yes.
And we hope to see you next week on another episode of One More for Safety.
Woo!
Thank you.
Bye, guys.